Good evening, everyone. As the description mentioned, I tried to create a video from my race in the Audi that I did at the start of this week, or better, start of this iRacing week, last Wednesday, I think. Creating the video crashed a few times, so I figured I'll just start with the replay and use that to show everything that happened. First I'm going to show you the qualifying, and then I'm going to let the race run. If you look at this live while I'm streaming it, then please hop into the chat and talk about it. You can ask me questions, anything. Otherwise I'll just keep the thing running and mention some important stuff if it pops up. Otherwise just enjoy the race. Started with the qualifying, it's the first lap. Enjoy. Audi was changed, or better, the tire model was changed to get the tires onto temperature a little bit quicker than in the first races of the season. So this first qualifying lap can actually be used to get a good banker lap. You can't see it now because I can't turn it on the replay, but this was actually a provisional pole by quite a margin, so I set off for a second lap, hoping that I could improve.
Radio check.
Sorry about that, forgot my crew chief. finished this lap second quicker than the previous one. It proved to be 1/10 of pole position. So starting in second place for the race. Put it back a little so you can see what happens in a warm-up. Here we go.
You need to follow the safety car in the left column.
It's the end of the warm-up lap. We're going into complete racing.
The air temp is 26 Celsius. Okay, Bram, get ready.
Yeah, getting ready came a little bit late because, as you can see,
Green, green, green. 2 litres remaining.
but the fight is on. Let's go.
The gap behind's increased to 1.2 seconds. Looks like P4 has gone off in turn 5.
Hello, Mew. Welcome. Still alive and kicking. Streaming the replay of the Audi race that I did at the start of this week. Start of this iRacing week. So just letting it run. It's a 30-minute race. Started in P2. Messed up the start. Dropped back to the P3. What do you mean with making progress, Mew? From dropping down to third after the start? I won't spoil that one for the viewers that watch this as a video later on. So I'd recommend just take a look and see what happens. As you can can see, the gaps are small while driving with the same car. It's a well-known track in iRacing, so
That's 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes.
this race was driven, like I said, at the start of the iRacing week. I think it was Wednesday.
Alright, Bram, don't be intimidated by this little shit. Make him work for it.
Thank you, crew chief. It was the middle split of 5. Yeah, these are only 30 minutes. Still think it's a shame that they left the IMSA championship on the spot it is now. Or better, that they put this one in C class beside IMSA, because well, this is an IMSA pilot challenge and they could have put this one on class D, so that you had an alternative to racing the Ferrari in the fixed championship to get through your D for your road license. Currently you only have the advanced Mazdas and the Ferrari to get through D, if I'm not mistaken. And this is absolutely genius. It's really different to drive it, as it is a front wheel drive car.
The gap behind is now 0.8.
You really need to get used to it, but it really is great. I did 2 races up until now. Both were okay. The first one was, I think, was Circuit of the Americas, where I got where I had to avoid another driver crashing out in the last corner, which cost me a few places, but got back to a decent level. And well, this is the second one, and I did. And I hope to jump back into one tomorrow or Wednesday again. It's gonna be a busy iRacing week. Well, of course, the higher your iRating gets, the higher your position gets, because the matchmaker is like that. It looks at players that are about the same level as you are. The more race participation you get, the closer the racing is.
Don't be intimidated. Keep him behind you.
This race was, by the way, before I tipped over the 2000 rating, because I did that last weekend on the 3 hours of Silverstone.
The gap in front is now 0.7.
But yeah, it makes it interesting, and it forces you to get better, or drop back down the ranking, which is not a shame. I mean, if you're not that quick, then you won't get it. Yeah, that's a normal setup. I usually turn my crew chief further up than any chat or something else, but I'll take a look at it. So, hope he shuts up a bit more now. not much, so back to the racing. The two in front started fighting.
Well done, Bram. This is terrific. Exactly what we came here for. 15 minutes left. The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 0.5.
Yeah. Doing the enduro the other day. Okay. Yeah, the crew chief drowns me out. Well, like I said, it's usually more important to hear what he has to say. But thanks for the feedback, man. I'll see if we can keep the crew chief a little bit further down. Well, the guys in front started fighting. Means they give me the chance to get back in. Fact is, we're currently with about 5 cars, and we stay together with those 5 for about the rest of this race. So that gives you an idea how close this racing was. But where do we end up? That's gonna be the question. If you hear weird sounds in the background, my family or my rats are causing mayhem. Can be either one.
Okay, Bram, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
Rats, yes, 4 of them. Yeah, it's not the first pet animal people think about, but they're cool. They can learn a lot. They're very smart. Oh, you can. If you really want to do it correctly, you can let them loose, but yeah, that's not funny when you have allergies. If you want, you can let them loose, and you can train them so that they will do their stuff inside their cages or on a specific spot. I didn't went to those lengths to get them trained, so to say. So mine are usually in their cage, and well, we get them out once in a while. I need to get back to training that corner because I was so bad in that thing. I didn't dare to take the right side of the track because every time I brake, the car squirmed everywhere. To be honest, I just downloaded the livery from Trading Paints, as I didn't have this livery when I actually did the race. But yeah, this is a very good one.
Hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes. This is terrific. Exactly what we came here for. Okay, Bram, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Or if you just want a basic one, I could create you stuff or model it after one of their other liveries. Not really good at it yet, but
the gap in front is now 2:19.
This was far from created. It was downloaded because the original one I was running was nothing special. Coming into a section of the race where, well, it actually was a bit quiet. We did our laps and everybody could follow. You see that P6 is also trying to close the gap. It was hard work during this race. Those two guys in front were really fast. I had to stay on my toes with the Audi because, well, front wheel drive car and the lack of experience, but that's probably for everyone on iRacing except if you've driven, what is it, the Kia I think is front wheel drive as well. The car that everybody has now. I've never driven that thing. But iRacing started this season and I was like, okay, I want to join that. That was not a bad choice.
The gap behind has now decreased to 0.8.
The way you need to drive this thing helps you also create in controlling other cars. But I really hope they'll add more touring cars into the mix. Yeah, I'm far from slow. In the Audi, I had that in the first race as well. I can usually dip within 2 seconds of the times that are posted on Virtual Racing School with their setup. And I try to improve more and more. Don't really take the time to improve further on the Audi, just do one race every week. And I try to keep that up through the season. And let's see if we can use
the gap ahead is now 0.7.
On the next races of or maybe next season, when most of the players will probably go and try something else. I think I'm still going to stick to the Audi. Been looking at running VLN next year. Did a few races already this year. I'll get back to the setups in a sec, Mew. Looking at running VLN, I wanted to do that with this car, but it seems that probably gonna do VLN with the Mazda, and then for the complete next year. But those plans are not set in stone yet. Setups quite easy. I have no clue, so ooh, he did nice avoiding me there. That's the first time I saw that. I have a subscription from Virtual Racing School and I download the setups from there. And on the Audi I haven't started changing anything. You couldn't really see that, but I had to brake for the guy in P2. And he came in and, well, he avoided me, so that was quite good, but it wasn't his fault. And it was very good that he avoided me. Let me switch to the cockpit view again.
The gap behind is now 0.5.
As this gives a much better idea what you're looking at from the cockpit. When you look from above, it looks a bit far away. this case it can see how close it actually is.
5 minutes to go, you're looking good for a podium.
And in the top right.
Okay, Bram, ignore that fucker in the mirror. Stick to your line, nail those exits.
No, crew chief, I just wanted to tell about the guy in the mirror. You can see how close it is. It's about 1.5 seconds going from P1 to P5 at the moment. This was a close call as well. The guy behind me as the guy in front with his block. Yeah, it was tight racing, and off he goes. Back in P2.
The gap in front is now 0.7.
I had car number 6 in this race. Guy in front now is car number 2. The guy behind me is car number 1. The slipstream effect is what is the thing that keeps me into this train. You really gain when you're in it. Now I'm gonna spoil a little bit, but watch
The
this.
gap behind is now 0.7.
Press it on the outside. That was such a nice move. I didn't even want to defend that one. That was such a well placed move, and I was like, okay.
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes.
From how far away? You could probably notice it at about, I think 0.7, 0.8 seconds away. Anything under us? Yeah, it was close all the time. But let me give that spoiler away. For me, this was a clean race. I had 0 contacts, 0 off tracks. And we're not done yet. I think what's making me maybe not quick with the Audi, but good over 30 minutes is the tire wear. You need to be really gentle, otherwise you're gonna scrub your front tires away. And that's what's causing a lot of problems later on. Regarding fighting with the big boys, well, like I said, there were 5 splits with about 18 cars in them each. And this was the middle split based on the rating. And we're talking about people ranging from about 2100 iRating for the car number 1 in front down to 1400 I believe, lower down the car numbers.
Okay Bram, you're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 0.7.
And he gave up. So he dropped down from P1 to P3 in like 6 corners. And now fight the urge to look at that, I think, Spanish beer brand in the in your rear view mirror. Yeah, he lost a bit of time there, but then you can see how close this really is. If you make one mistake, you get 2 or 3 people just crawling over your rear end in races like this. This was a very nasty case of parking it on the apex. He should have used my tighter entry for that one, but he didn't.
Just ignore him, he'll go away. He's faster than you, entering zone 5.
See where we are now. Lap 12. Out of my head, I think it was 13 laps. One car now starting to show its pace, so getting him will be hard. I'll flick to the rear view so you can see there's still 4 cars in a pack, and in this case fighting for P2 while trying to chase down the leader. Oh, sorry about that. Blue shells? What do you mean? Go into the final lap now, by the way. Oh, oh, why does everybody call it? I missed a few editions of Mario Kart probably, but why does everybody call it blue shells now? They used to be green and red, and the red was the homing shield or the homing shell, and the green one was the unguided one. Since when did they add blue ones?
The gap behind is now 1.1.
Yep, breathing room on the last lap. So about 4 corners to mess up. And that was in my opinion, a very epic Audi TCR race from the start of this week. Was very happy with the result, scoring second place. Was a hard fight. Needed to stay focused from the start to finish. Well, didn't do it at the start, so lost the place. Gained about 70 iRating just for this race alone. Like I said,
You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 0.8.
Shut up, crew chief. It's already over. Then with a clean race, which I think is very good. And you can't see it now, but the chat in the end between the top 5 was overly positive. Everybody thought it was a was a great race, and I like it when it ends like that. But with that, I'm gonna end this session in the stream. Mew, thank you for watching live. All the others that watch this as video later on, thank you as well. Drop a like if you want to, or dislike if you don't want to, or if you don't like it. Then also tell me why, because that helps me in future episodes. And with that, I'm gonna wish you a very pleasant evening. I'm gonna do some other stuff. Thanks, Mew. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.